Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Emperor Big D for all the updates on the channel, a preview of upcoming content, and much more. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Super Episode 37, entitled Saiyajin no Hokori o Wasureru na Vegeta tai Dairoku Chuno Saiyajin, which translates directly to Don't Forget Your Saiyan Pride, Vegeta versus the Saiyan of Universe 6. Now, before I go any further, for the purposes of this video, I will be referring to them as the Saiyans, not the Saiyans. However, I do want to clarify a couple things here before we start, because I know that these super reviews get viewed by a lot of different people, and I'm sure a big group of them grew up on the English dub and pronounce it Saiyan. So for the purposes of this video, I will be pronouncing it Saiyan. The correct pronunciation from the original Japanese word yasai is Saiyan. And what happened was Funimation had actually goofed up back in 1996 when they first started dubbing Dragon Ball Z, and they called them Saiyans and not Saiyans, but the actual correct pronunciation is Saiyan. Now, I have another video which I will link to down below about kind of the origins of the word Saiyan and, you know, what happened back in the 90s with Funimation. So I would like all you guys check that video out as well to explain it. So bottom line is, I'll be using Saiyan for the video, but just understand that if you hear somebody say Saiyan, including myself, because I tend to switch back and forth between Saiyan or Saiyan, if you tend to hear somebody say Saiyan, they're not saying it wrong. It was just an old mistake from the 90s that was never fixed. Speaking of pronunciations, a lot of people have been wondering, how do I pronounce this Universe 6 Saiyan's name? I've heard Kaaba, Kabe, and Cabe. First of all, it's not Cabe because there is no silent E in Japanese. Cabe, if you hear anybody pronouncing it Cabe, they don't know what they're talking about. From what I understand, it is written out Kabe or Kiabe, but if you watch the series and listen to the characters the way they pronounce his name, it is Kaaba. Either way is fine, Kaaba or Kabe, but in the series it's Kaaba, not Cabe. Alright, just wanted to clarify that before we get to the actual review. Speaking of Kaaba, everybody's been talking about him this week. Tons of videos about this, tons of talk in the community about this guy and his secret Super Saiyan power. Let's talk about the episode. So, the episode begins with Whis and Vados working together to repair all the holes in the ring, but there's been a change. The ring has actually been made bigger because they want to make ring outs less likely now. You can still win the fight by knockout or ring out, but they made the ring bigger. So that's pretty cool they did that. Meanwhile, Bulma is with Vegeta. She's toweling off the sweat and whatnot. Trunks is marking out over his dad. Champa and Beerus then have an argument about the temperature of the stadium, and they're so focused that they crack a ceiling they crack the ceiling. And Vados and Whis tell him to chill the fuck out. I love the chemistry between Champa and Beerus. I did a video last week with Rhyme Style about like Dragon Ball spinoffs, and if you haven't seen that video, check it out. I will leave a link down below in the comments section for you to check out that video. There's 2 parts to it, and I really am adding something to that. I would love to see a Champa and Beerus sitcom. Even if there's no fights, that would entertain the hell out of me. So, Vegeta and Kabe step up, and there's pretty cool Sumitomo music playing here, like this royal music. Bulma notes about how the Universe 6 Saiyans are hard workers, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know how she could pick that up just by looking at this guy, but hey, what can you do? Vegeta's, of course, cocky as hell. Kaaba comes off very, very humble and focused, kind of like Goku used to back in the day when he was younger, you know, in the old tournaments. He kind of come off like that, you know, Kid Goku. So Piccolo asks Goku about Kabe, you know, do you think this guy can go Super Saiyan? But Goku is way too focused on hit, completely ignores it. Kaaba then goes into Vegeta's stance, the same one he used against Goku way back in the Vegeta saga, and Vegeta notes that Kaaba's opening stance is similar to his own. I love it. I love it. This is what I've been waiting for in Dragon Ball Super, the anime, that we're getting in the manga. Little homages and tributes to the past, to Dragon Ball Z, the stuff that we grew up with. And one thing I will say about this episode, guys, if you grew up a fan of Dragon Ball Z, I don't care when you started watching the series, if you love those great classic Dragon Ball Z fights, this episode came the closest to capturing that in every way. Honestly, it did. So Kaaba attacks with an uppercut. Vegeta blocks it. Vegeta's blocking punches. Kaaba goes for some roundhouse kicks, nails him. Vegeta goes for a punch, misses. Uppercut to Vegeta's gut. Kaaba's in there, yo. He's hanging in there. Vegeta then blocks Kaabe's left and right and then kicks him really hard. Kaaba notes that he saw Vegeta use his technique earlier. Wait a minute. What's he talking about? Kaaba fires a Gala gun and Vegeta then fires his own. That's right. Kaaba knows the Gala gun. So maybe the Universe 6 people are a lot similar than we had previous thought. So they're sitting there doing the beam struggle. Neither one wins and the ki dissipates. So far, this is awesome. So Vegeta asks Kaaba, do you know how to transform into a Super Saiyan? And Kaaba says, I don't know what a Super Saiyan is. And he asks Vegeta to show him how the transformation is done. So Vegeta is shocked. And Vegeta's kind of disappointed a little bit here for Kaaba to kind of ask him for help, so to speak. You know, he's like, come on, how do you not know this? You call yourself a Saiyan? Then he shows him and he transforms into a Super Saiyan. Flies in, huge uppercut to Kaaba, right to the body, starts to pummel him real good, kicks him up, and he keeps kicking him up and up and up, and Vegeta's really having his way with Kaaba, really beating the tar out of him, abusing him. Everyone on the sidelines is like, oh shit, is he going too far here? Even Goku's like, whoa. Vegeta grabs him by the shirt. Kaaba's like unable to do shit. Vegeta then threatens to destroy Planet Salad if he doesn't give him a better fight, which is Kaaba's home planet. For those of you guys who don't know, Planet Salad or Planet Sadla, depending on what version you're watching, it's the same pun, is the Universe 6 home of the Saiyans and the original home of the Saiyans in Universe 7 before they took over Planet Plant and made it Planet Vegeta and fought the Sufurians or the Tuffles in the dub way back many years ago. Kaaba, after Vegeta says that, he just smacks Vegeta away and starts glowing yellow. And he's like, leave Planet Salad out of this, and transforms into a Super Saiyan. I'm like fucking marking out right now. So Kaaba gets pissed. The guy who does the voice here, fantastic job. I cannot wait to hear how Funimation dubs it. I hope they get a really good voice actor. I don't know who it could be. It could be anybody, but I love it. So Kaaba rocks Vegeta. Bam! Vegeta blocks the shot, but the ki from the shot goes through and hits Vegeta anyways. Kaaba fires about 1,000 punches to Vegeta, who blocks him. So Kaaba's sitting there swinging. He's just swinging, and Vegeta's blocking everything. But as this is going on, steam starts to rise, from the fight. Like there's steam and shit, fucking steaming, bro. We thought the magma Vegeta fight was hot. So Vegeta then bats all these ki. Well, no, here's what happened. I jumped ahead. Kaaba flies up to the top of the stadium and starts firing a shit ton of ki blasts at Vegeta. Vegeta bats them all away with a pimp smack, and there's explosions everywhere. This feels like Dragon Ball Z. I think this episode and the last episode, the fight with Vegeta, felt the most like Dragon Ball Z thus far. I mean, there's been a couple of cool moments, like when Vegeta beat up Golden Frieza and when Goku fought Lord Beerus in episode 11 that were Dragon Ball Z-ish, but I think this episode really captures that spirit and that tone. A little bit faster paced, good animation, very good animation for this part. Kaaba lunges in with a shot, big explosion. Vegeta eats the punch to the forehead and just smiles at him. But it's almost as if Vegeta's training him, and I kind of had a feeling about this, that this could end up turning into something with Vegeta training the kid, because obviously what's going on here is that Vegeta sees a fellow Saiyan and has a little bit of sympathy. Like he kind of, okay, like this guy, he represents where I came from, and that's very cool. So Vegeta, what happens is he loses the form, and because he doesn't know how to control the form. Like, Kaaba does not know how to control Super Saiyan form yet. So, after the temper tantrum, he calms down. Vegeta's pretty much like, okay, get mad or whatever. And then he powers up again and does it. And Vegeta's like, good, do not forget that feeling. That rage is the key to becoming a Super Saiyan. So, Kaaba does it again. He fills his heart up with anger and rage, and boom, transforms again. Guys, speaking of spinoffs, I want a Kaaba Vegeta training adventure. That would be awesome. Just Kaaba and Vegeta. It's like his second son, or yeah, whatever. His new adopted son, Kaaba. Trunks is too busy goofing around. Why don't we have Vegeta train Kaaba? Anyways, Vegeta then goes blue. SS got SS, and they play some epic music here. And when this happens, Hit opens his eyes like, oh shit. Vegeta shows him what he calls, guys, Super Saiyajin Boru. So there's been a debate, and it is now official, according to Vegeta, this form. I'm not saying that Super Saiyan got Super Saiyan is not official, because on all the merchandise, it's still Super Saiyan got Super Saiyan, but Vegeta called it Super Saiyajin Boru. Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan Blue. So it is, I guess, the other name for SS got SS. So I guess they do have two names. It is now official in the series. Vegeta then comes in, hauls off, nails Kaaba, one shot to the gut, out. Vegeta wins. That's it. Which again begs the question, why the hell didn't Goku and Vegeta use these forms earlier against these other guys? I do wonder about that. Universe 6 has turned out to be some punk asses, but they might be able to be trained. Vegeta so far has been the most impressive in my opinion. He almost burned the whole place down. So then Vegeta throws water on Cabba. Cabba wakes up and he thanks him for everything in the fight. Vegeta's like, you bowed to me mid-fight. That's the same as giving up. I'm not going to stand for that. Don't forget your pride. So Cabba gets emotional and he's like, thank you for this. And Vegeta's like, I want you to surpass me one day. And then Cabba says Planet Salad's king is a nice guy. Vegeta says he wants to meet him one day. Cabba got a lesson from the prince. I love it. I think, guys, my opinion is I hope Super's not ending soon, because they've already alluded to it several times that Vegeta wants to meet Planet Salad's king and all the other Saiyans. They have to do it. They have to do it. Like, I feel like the series cannot end without a trip to Planet Salad. Even if it's one episode, I want to see Vegeta meet his brethren from Universe 6. So then Hit steps up. Vados and Champa have a conversation, and Champa's very, very confident, which is interesting because they're down to their last fighter, and Beerus' team still has Monaka, Vegeta, and of course Goku, who is going to be put back in because of the whole Frost cheating thing. Champa's like, well, we're down to our last fighter, but it's Hit, so there's nothing to worry about. And that's how the episode ends. Hit and Vegeta next week. And we got a new ending song, Forever Dreaming. A very good song from, I think it's Czech No Republic's name of the band. Very, very, very awesome ending song for Dragon Ball Super. Next week, Hit is destroying SS Blue Vegeta in the next episode preview. This guy is serious business, all right? Let me know your thoughts down below. To me, another top 5 episode, Dragon Ball Super. I got to really think about which one I like the best, but it felt like Dragon Ball, felt like Dragon Ball Z. Next week's episode, Universe 6's Strongest Warrior. Meet the assassin, Hit. I can't wait. Let me know your thoughts down below. Spread the word about the video, the channel, subscribe. I love all of you, and I will catch you down the road.